So, you know, I guess what we're talking about is the stuff around the content. And this is another great quote from Charles Ledbetter as well. In the past you were what you owned, now you are what you share. And I think the overall impact of all those kind of individual impacts that we looked at is that we're sort of seeing an end of control. We're not able to control content anymore. And copyright's kind of, oh, I've done it again. Copyright is beginning to kind of be unsustainable. It's a struggle to own the content that you have the rights to, but what you can own is the context, the meaning, the relevance, the experience, the embodiment, the timing of that content. And I guess that's what the Coelho case study really proved. Okay, that hasn't worked out right. The picture should be much paler than that, so you can actually read the writing. But it says as sort of a word of warning, and this side says, formerly people were audience, consumers, listeners, customers, buyers. Now they're users, co-creators, contributors, peers, producers, and promoters. So that means that these people, who we can see clearly, are your new sales and marketing, they're your new press and PR. The importance of building a relationship with the people around your work is going to be absolutely essential. And then I came up with sharing is caring, which I know Adrian will really like. He loves my buzzwords.
I've quoted many.
Yeah. But I just wanted to kind of briefly think then about what the implications are for organisations and artists in a world where the end of control is nigh. And basically, it's that we have to change. Why do we have to change? Because actually people's online lives and their digital devices have just become part of their real experience. I mean, you know, Chris carries his little iBook everywhere. What's it called? E-reader. And this is just part of his real experience now. So actually, you know, venues, other audience members are going to begin to have to change their opinion about the inclusion of these digital devices at artistic events. There's a story that Broadway theatres have started to allow people to BlackBerry, which means, you know, check their emails in performances. They're not kind of banned and not told off for doing it. If they did, they reckon they would lose audience. And of course, I think the relationship between, you know, the artist and the community who want to come and share the work will become flatter, and there'll be much more work developed collaboratively. And we've sort of already said people will be organised without the organisation. So if we're the organisation, what can we do to facilitate that? And that means operational changes. It means that we're going to need to encourage more personalisation and participation. It means that we're going to kind of have to open up wider dialogues, and that means that we're going to have to be able to cope with negative and critical things being said, perhaps even rude words being put on our websites every now and again. And the business models, well, money's generated from driving attention, I think, not from selling things. So, you know, that means that business models are powered by next generation advertising, which isn't as funky as this generation advertising. It kind of feels more seamless because it's so context aware. I guess, you know, actually creating more digital content means that we've got to make more of an investment in it, or a different investment in it, and less of an investment in something else. But it'll certainly mean new contracts with venues, performers, writers, and also with audiences. So we're looking at needing to change, and that means that actually change in an organisation needs supporting. These are big changes that we've got to make. It's actually looking at every area of our business. If we're a creative organisation, then it's looking at the artistic practice and the operational function and the business model. So that's kind of all of what we do. And that's why the Ambition Project's been important, because it's been about helping people go through those changes. It's been about sort of supporting organisations through that change and about helping them work out who they are in this new world. And Chris's organisation, New Writing Partnership and the Poetry Trust have been on the Ambition programme, so ask them about their experiences of it, and Adrian and I can talk about it more as well. I don't want to go on any longer now. I think we need some coffee and a bit of time just to sort of digest some of that before we move on into other, hearing about other projects and beginning to discuss them. So, just to give you these are called Wordles, on Wordle. And if you go to wordle.net and then type in the address of your own organisation's website or your own blog, the technology is there to kind of pull out what you're talking about. So I got Adrian to do this to the Ambition website, and this is what we and the community of our users are talking about most. Arts. That's good. I'm glad that came up.
That's really and digital.
Yeah, digital came up big as well. So that's across is quite big. That's because it's across art form, I suppose. Yeah. So you know, these are kind of interesting ways of looking at what we're doing.
Put your next bid into Wordle and see if it comes out making any sense.
Oh yeah, and if the keywords are the same as the ones that the Arts Council are looking for.
Yeah, but not just
very
please.
Great. Well, thanks very much for listening. I've got a literature delicious bookmark collection. I'm Han Rudman on Delicious, and do come and have a look at the Ambition website, which has got all sorts of case studies of organisations going through change and making digital developments. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.